Following the failure of the state government to fulfill the demands of NIDA and with the expiry of the state government's assurance of 1 year to resolve the issue of superannuation age of doctors, which expires on April 17, 2022, the NIDA has announced its second phase of agitation in the form of mass casual leave from April the 18th to the 20th, followed by an indefinite cease to work from April 21st to 2022.
NIDA's demand can be traced back to the announcement from the Honorable Prime Minister Modi on the 26th of May 2016 at Saharanpur in UP, where he said that henceforth the retirement age for all government medical doctors across the country would be raised to 65 years due to acute shortage of medical doctors and to retain the services of experienced doctors for a longer period. Following this, NIDA first submitted a memorandum to the government in August 2016 on the issue. It went to the cabinet once, where a cabinet subcommittee was formed, but report was never submitted. It may be noted that NIDA's demand has since been scaled down to 62 years superannuation age for all government doctors. The NIDA has been regularly reminding the government, and 4 reminders were submitted in written to the government that time was running out. To the credit of the government, the issue has been taken up at least 4 times in the cabinet, but decision has not been taken. The NIDA, left with little option, decided to go for mass casualty from the 7th to 9th March 2022. However, an appeal was received from the Honorable Minister of Health and Family Welfare on the 5th of March to keep the proposed agitation on hold and assured to the NIDA that he will, quote, give his best efforts to ensure that the state government address the matter on urgency, unquote. However, during the subsequent cabinet meeting on the 16th March, decision was again deferred. Despite tremendous pressure from members to kickstart the intensive phase of the agitation in the form of mass casual leave immediately, the NIDA leadership decided to give time to the government till the deadline, that is 17th April 2022.
Now addressing the media at the NIDA office in Kohima, the association has accused the state government of using the Naga Students Federation or the NSF as an excuse not to fulfill the demands of NIDA.
We feel that the government is just using the NSF as an excuse not to concede to our demands. Because as you have seen from today's press statement and by ASU, Angami Students Union, we now know that NSF is not it's a divided house. They don't have a single voice. Their opinion is divided on this, particularly on this issue. So just by blaming NSF as the obstacle, I think that doesn't carry much weight.
Well, the association also informed that the emergency services will remain functional during this 3-day mass casual leave and hoped that the government takes a favorable decision in the next 4 days. However, if no decision is arrived at before 18th of April, the mass casual leave will go ahead, and in case of any untoward eventualities, the government will have to bear the responsibility or can shift the blame to those it claims to be opposing NIDA's demands.
To the general public, we would like to inform that emergency services will remain functional during this 3-day mass casual leave. We therefore appeal for cooperation and moral support to our legitimate demands. Sacrifices made during the COVID pandemic by the medical fraternity should not be so easily forgotten, particularly since the pandemic is far from over. Finally, no organization wishes to go on agitation mode or any confrontation with the government, least of all the NIDA. We hope that the government takes a favorable decision in the next 4 days, but if no decision is arrived at before 18th April, the mass casual leave will go ahead. And in case of any untoward eventualities, the government will have to bear the responsibility or can shift the blame to those it claims to be opposing NIDA's demands.
And meanwhile, the Health and Family Welfare Department has issued a notification that no leave will be granted to any medical officers during the proposed mass casual leave.